In today's video, we're going to talk about slash chords. My name is Rob Reed. Let's do this. Have you ever looked at a chord chart and saw this? Or this? Or maybe this? What are you supposed to do with that? Is this a D chord or an F sharp chord? Maybe you're supposed to play two chords at once. Is this piano music? These are called slash chords, and not chords that Slash plays from Guns N' Roses. In today's video, I can tell you what slash chords are, how to play certain common slash chords, and where they show up in modern music. Let's get right to it. So slash chord is just a normal chord that you already know over a particular bass note. So the first letter that you see in a slash chord is the chord. So for example, D would be a D major chord. The second letter that you see is the bass note. So in this case, it would be an F sharp. So it would be a D major chord over an F sharp bass note. It's just a fancier or modern way of showing a chord inversion. Let's look a little deeper. So take the D chord, for example. It's usually a given that the lowest note of the chord is the root note or the bass note. So in the case of D, D is made up of the notes D, F sharp, and A. So D would be the bass note. So you would just see the chord written as a D, and it would be understood that the D is the lowest note of the chord or the bass note. But we can take one of the other notes and flip it down and make it the lowest note of the chord. So for example, you could take the F sharp note and flip it down and put it on the bottom as the bass note. So then you would have the D chord on top, D, F sharp, and A, over an F sharp note. So now you would have D, F sharp, and A slash or over F sharp. And now F sharp is the lowest note of the chord or the bass note. And you would read it like D over F sharp. Slash chords are usually used to show bass runs or bass movement, or they can be used to spice up regular sounding chords to make things sound more interesting. Yeah. So let's take a look at some examples of some common slash chords. So D over F sharp is one of the most common occurring slash chords. So you have your D shape, and you're adding your F sharp bass note to that chord, which would be right here. So it sounds like this. Sounds really cool. Or you often see it played like this. So instead of playing D like this, you would take your second finger and move it up to and replace your first finger on the second fret, third string, and then your first finger jumps up and plays the F sharp. Really nice sounding chord, one of my favorites for sure. So the next common occurring slash chord would be G over B. So you take your G chord, and you're actually playing a B bass note with your first finger on the second fret A string. So it sounds like this. Pretty cool. And another really common occurring slash chord would be A over C sharp. So you take your normal A chord, then you're adding the C sharp bass note, which is right up here. So you'd have to actually change your fingering and bar right across the second fret for A, and then stretch up here with your third finger and play the C sharp bass note. So it sounds like this. And be careful not to hit the high E string. And then one more cool slash chord. I call it the Radiohead chord. It's like a A minor chord. And you jump up and play the F sharp bass note here. So it sounds like this. So slash chords are seen all over popular music. An example would be Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. He plays a G over B on the verse, so it goes like this. C, and drops down to G over B here. Then to A minor. Back to G over B. Sounds really cool. So another example would be Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. And he uses a D over F sharp chord. So it sounds like this, D, then D over F sharp. So slash chords are really cool and they're really effective for showing bass movement, and they can really spice up a normal sounding chord and make things sound more interesting. So check it out. Leave a comment down below if you can think of more songs that have slash chords in them, and check out these two videos, and we'll see you in the next one.